Welcome back to the In Our Issues podcast. I'm Nathan Donnelly, and today my co-hosts and I are going to talk about careers in peer support. Peer supporters are tasked with helping other people who are struggling, but they're a little different from, say, a therapist or a case manager. Now you'll find out how. Without further ado, here is the IOI crew. Welcome everyone back to the In Our Issues podcast. Today we're talking peer support with the original gang. I'm so happy to sit down and talk with you guys. This is going to be a two-parter. It's going to be a two-parter because we have a lot of
stuff to go over. I have two pages of notes and then Samson notes.
Them in particular will have a lot of experience to share here. Peer support is so I guess I'll start here. Peer support is incredibly important because there's a lot of people that feel alone in their struggles and they need somebody to help guide them and give them resources.
Hey, guess what? We're talking about peer support today if you didn't know.
Hey, did you mention that we're talking about peer support?
We're talking about peer support.
Did I mention that peer support is our topic of conversation today? Hey, Bill, did you hear that we're talking about peer support today?
I did hear that. I'd like to define that so I make sure I'm on the same page you guys are.
Go for it. Would you like to define it?
When I said I'd like to define it, I meant I'd like someone else to define it.
As in the royal we. Amanda, would you like to define peer support?
I think that peer support is definitional. I guess if you want to use that word. But peer support is different to every person, really. But if we're looking at it from like a professional standpoint, it definitely has its specific definition. And what we like to say is it is utilizing our lived experience to help and hold hope for other people in their lived experience with mental health or substance use disorders. And so it is really just being a cheerleader for other people in the recovery process. It is being a resource navigator.
Team.
It is really just helping somebody through their process because we've been through our own process of recovery ourselves and utilizing that as an anchor to help hold space for other people. Now, if we want the
anchor, baby.
If we want the actual definition, a peer support worker is someone with the lived experience of recovery from a mental health condition, substance use disorder, or both. They provide support to others experiencing similar challenges. They provide non-clinical, strengths-based support and are experientially credentialed, love that word, by their own recovery journey.
Experientially credentialed. Your wreckage is your resume.
Absolutely. Who said that one, Bill?
Cindy.
I remember you saying but then Sydney said it to you.
She said it to Bill. Bill said it to me. I said it to the world.
Telephone.
Which is the beauty of peer support, right? We share things and it spreads to the masses. It's the beauty about peer support. It's the beauty about living in this world. I do want to talk about, too, the peer support in its infancy, right? Where did peer support come from? Where did it develop from? Peer support really developed out of the anti-psychiatry movement of before, way back in the day. People were sent to psych wards. They were sent to mental health wards.
Yeah, they were just treated like there's clearly something wrong with you. We're gonna see if we can figure out how to beat it out of you.
So that was in the late 1970s, early 80s. It was really kind of like a civil rights movement to shut down asylums where the abuses were occurring. Yeah. So and a large percentage were in hospitals. So it really was birthed out of being an alternative to mental health treatment. And Hamilton County was actually one of the first, not just in Ohio, but in the country to really establish consumer-operated agencies, which is really cool. Peer support is really, we can uplift and hold hope for our own recovery journey. And doesn't always have to be clinical, and it doesn't always have to be based in the medical model. It can be based in the recovery model. So that means the medical model is really when we're sick, we just need to subdue the sickness. The recovery model is really, we can live our best life and we can recover and we can go and be the best versions of ourselves.
Yeah, and it's like basically the whole experience is like when you can't be the best version of yourself if you've got all of this other stuff weighing you down. Sometimes you don't even know what it is or how you need help with doing it, and that's why having a peer to support you is so important. Here at the Recovery Center of Hamilton County, we have quite a few people who do peer support work, and they work with agencies to help people who are struggling find resources to better themselves. And it's a whole profession that these people are pursuing, guys. And it's they need to be paid more.
Absolutely.
They need to be paid more. That's a big issue. But it's, because this work is far more important than you realize. You're in some cases saving people's lives. It's crazy.
Yeah. Bill, what's your experience working in peer support?
There's a whole lot of thoughts. You said hope. You used the word hope when you defined. And at the end of the day, to me, peer support is just the process of using my lived experience to connect with people who are going through much the same type of things that I have been through or am going through, to give them hope that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and that, I've done it. Amanda's done it. Nathan's done it. So what we don't do is give advice. I love the idea that peer support is empowering. All I want to do is help you lay out a map of how to get where you want to go. And if I can tell you things that I've done in the past that either worked for me or didn't, just so you have those in your quiver, I'm happy to do that.
I like the way you put that.
Thank you.
Equating it like opportunities to fight back to the arrows in a quiver, the quiver being you, the arrows being those opportunities.
You know what? Yeah, thank you for extending that metaphor, because it's a fight. It is every day for me, to be here and to be engaged, have the mental capacity to be engaged.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's a freaking battlefield, man, on my way here. And this is what it's like for people who are struggling, guys. So this is really relevant to peer support. But like, what I mean is, like, sometimes it just feels like a battlefield because you don't know what's going to affect you what way. And if you already have a predisposition to having negative headspaces, then it's like that combined with those sort of like, I have to dodge these triggers and hope I don't like fall into these mental pitfalls, is just a compounded sort of intensity that we have to deal with. But it's not impossible. It's just like you have to be courageous enough and willing to face those mental traps, or prepare yourself, like grit yourself for the worst possibilities that could happen. And then suddenly you're going to find yourself being stronger in those moments. But some people don't even have that strength, and that's why they turn to peer supporters.
True. Absolutely. I think the really cool thing, Renee Capaci, I'm name dropping her, was actually where I got a lot of this information from about the history of peer support. We have an episode on our Recovery Center YouTube page that's called Ask the RC. And she kind of takes us through the history of peer support and what that looks like. And she said the essence of the Recovery Center of Hamilton County was giving people the opportunity for the recovery process that I had. So she really had that process to go through the recovery process rather than just navigating the medical model. And so bringing that to people here was really her goal. And I think that is really amazing.
Be the person you needed in the world.
Yeah, and Chris always says, like, we love to see people, but our job is to get rid of you here in the building. And I think that's awesome, because that's really what peer support, what peer support is all about, is like helping people and giving them their wings to really like succeed and to move through in the world and like let them know that recovery is possible and that you can get to another place. All self-disclosed here, a little bit of, bias and stigma that I walked in this building with in 2019 when I got hired here. Because of social media and because of the world, I was really scared of getting schizophrenia. It runs in my family. I was really terrified of that for myself, of like, oh my God, like if I get that, like I'm never going to be okay again. And all of the things that the media paints it to be. And when I got here, I started talking to people, taking classes, really having meaningful conversations. And I realized, like, oh my gosh, a lot of people I really connect with are struggling with this. And I could literally never know. Like, they go out, they own their own place, they have jobs, like all of this kind of stuff. And it really just squashed that stigma for me right away. And I think that's really the beauty of kind of what we do here in this building. And the beauty of peer support is it takes this big scary thing that we're told to be afraid of, right? And it takes that big scary thing and it makes it small and not so scary and able to be squashed and able to, you know, really be able to navigate around that fear. And I think navigating fear and empowering hope is really a lot of what we like to do as peer supporters.
Here's how I think that works here. So let me know if you see it differently.
Absolutely.
Well said, Amanda. Well said.
We are offering people the ability to direct their own path.
Absolutely.
Whatever that looks like. You know, you may want to go back to work. You may want to go back to work full time. You may want to just be able to talk to people in a social setting. Whatever it is that you define, you know, we're going to help you do that. The way it works, though, we've got 22, I think, or so certified peer recovery supporters on staff. So when people come here, that's why they're coming.
Yeah.
They're coming because they know there are at least 20 people on staff here that have lived experience that they're willing to share. And you know, I think part of the reason people stick around when they come to work here, let me redirect that. I think one of the good things about people sticking around when they come to work here is that members who come in see, oh my goodness, this person really was in the same spot I was, and they're working. And not only are they working, but I like the work they do. They're cool, and it's effective. So
do that work, guys.
That's why I think it works, because we have people who have been there, who have come out the other side and may go back in.
I actually,
and likely will go back in and then have to come out again. And
I wouldn't say likely, but
not likely.
It could happen.
Like it can't. But that's what I meant. I didn't mean.
I mean, there's stages of change, right? Like the stages of change, like maintenance is a huge part of the stages of change, and sometimes there is, you know, relapse. Relapse is a part of recovery, whether that be substance use or whether that be symptoms, right?
But it can be both. Yeah, I have friends who's it's happened to. It's and I support them through it. It's give them my own little peer support as their friend.
Yeah, I would like to say to that notion, Bill, is I actually had a really sweet moment in relation to that. Like last week when I was facilitating a class. And, you know, I kept saying, because sometimes I kind of occupy the time with my personal story and my experience at times, but, you know, it's just to kind of make everybody feel safe, feel comfortable, and really, you know, give them the opportunity of like, hey, I've been there kind of thing.
Yeah, you're never talking about yourself because you like to hear yourself talk.
Right, exactly. And so, like, and so it was a really sweet moment because I was having a really, really, really hard day last Thursday. And one of the peers in my class was like, you know, I appreciate you talking about yourself. I appreciate you talking about your experience, because for me, it means hope. For me, I see hope, like that I can get to where you are and that I can be there too. And it was such like a really, really like sweet thing for that peer to say to me. And like a day when I was really struggling and having such a hard day.
It's very validating.
I was getting like teared up in class. Yeah. And I was like, thank you so much for sharing that. Like, I really appreciate it. It really validates me and my experience as a peer supporter. And that's really what it's about.
Did you get goosebumps?
I did. I got goosebumps.
I love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
That's meaning. That's warm hug meaning.
You know what? Like for real, that's energy. That's energy you're putting out into the building
and receiving. Yep. Like, it's a cycle. You give what you receive. Like you receive what you give to another person. If you can communicate like that, you know, and you understand how each other are feeling, and you help each other through those experiences, it's a very rewarding process. It's kind of how I experience. It's kind of what I've experienced when I like write lyrics or make like a song or make like any kind of art, because it's like I'm having that conversation with myself. It's like the art is the conversation I'm having it with. How do I make sense of this? How do I improve it? How do I support myself with it? It's just my approach to art. That's very much, so it's like a very artistic interpretation of peer support. Like, I
think too, like I wrote something down that I thought was really, really powerful on the basis of like peer support in the recovery model of,
oh, hell yeah.
Peer support is really how well we become, not how sick we are. And I think that is like such a beautiful sentiment and a beautiful piece.
You know what? I like that. And we don't even ever ask for a diagnosis here. Mm-hmm. You don't even have to have a diagnosis. You just have to be someone who identifies as having some kind of mental process you'd like some help with.
Absolutely. And to Nathan's point too, like we have a lot of different ways to do that in the building. Like we have guitar classes, we have like a health rhythms class where we drum, like we have watercolor, we have drawing. So there's like art that we, you know, that's the way that we move through our experiences. I mean, I used to run an open mic night where that was peer support before I even knew that I was doing peer support.
She was doing the thing, man.
Yeah, it's really cool. So it can really show up in a lot of different ways. But I think professionally in this building, you know, it's just really so like life changing. It really is. Like peer supporters really do save lives.
They do. We do. Yep.
do.
So just as a definition, peer support officially, legally, is used in two areas. It's used in recovery from mental illness and used in recovery from substance use disorder. Here at the Recovery Center of Hamilton County, we focus on the mental health aspect.
Absolutely.
We have a lot of dual diagnosis, but the lived experience of the staff is on the mental health side. So those are the people that we work with for the most part.
Mm-hmm. And peer support workers inspire hope that people can and do recover. We walk with people on their recovery journey. We dispel myths about what it means to have a mental condition or a substance use disorder, but here at the Recovery Center, that's a mental health. Provide self-help education and link people to tools and resources, and we support people in identifying their goals, hopes, and dreams and creating a roadmap for getting there. So that's really, you know, just succinctly peer support.
The roadmap, baby. The roadmap.
Hope is the biggest thing for me.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I love that part.
Yeah, and
we
I
hold
think
hope for people when they can't hold it for themselves, and that's the beauty of it.
Hold hope when they can't hold it for themselves. And your power is your potential. It's like your power. It's like you find your strength in the potential you create by understanding and moving through your suffering. And that's what like really is going to give you hope and see your true potential. I mean, I had, you know, there's an incredible like struggle that will take place when you're trying to reach your full potential. And it's the kind of thing that like, when it seems like an uphill battle, and I should be giving this advice to myself right now.
I think
so
you are.
I am.
That's
when you have an uphill battle, it's gonna seem long, sometimes so long that you want to give up and you want to just let that boulder roll down the hill. But
hang on one second. Just going forward, don't say you're gonna, say I, please. Use your own experience.
Sometimes, absolutely. Yeah. So when I'm saying I mean like, I'm not trying to generalize my experience. I'm just trying to like, what I'm trying to say like, from like, it's like it can be when I am speaking from my personal experience, which is why I need to give this advice to myself. So it's like, but yeah, sometimes it's just sometimes the darkness is just very overwhelming, and what you want to do is find and what you can do is find hope and support from others. For particularly people who can give you resources if you find the right people. And so like don't give up.
Yeah, there's another side to struggling.
There is another side to struggling. There's a beautiful thing where it's like it feels like the darkness is overwhelming, but then if you learn to find the happiness in every day, if you turn to the things, if you find a way to surround yourself in new exciting things or familiar things that you love, with whichever way it goes, or when I find myself familiarized with those things, it's like, even though there's all this stuff going on in my life, I still have things to appreciate. And there's also, the people in your life that will really be there for you. And if you don't have those, then like best of luck in finding them, because they've got to be out there.
I think too, that's the beauty of peer support, truthfully, is that like on those days when hope does get dark, like it's not about saying like, oh, it'll all get better soon, or like toxic positivitying yourself away, through that. It's more of like, hey man, this sucks. And I know this sucks because I've, been in my own situation. I could never understand how it sucks for you because I am not you, but this is how it really sucked for me. And this is how I got out of the suck. right? This is how
I got out of the suck.
myself from the suck, right?
I sucked myself from the suck.
Well, let's go down that road for a second, because I think that's the key of peer support. That's why it works. Is total mind blank.
Brain fart. I almost did that too, and then I got right back on track.
I'm done.
So rewind. You were talking about how, like, you said that what really is the essence of why peer support works. That's what you were going.
I think for me at least, when I started talking to people who were peers, I just opened up much more than I did to a psychiatrist or a therapist.
I mean, that's what I did with my therapist when I found out she was a peer. Like, she self-disclosed to me, which you're not really supposed to do in therapy, but like she did it anyways because she felt connected to what I was struggling with. And that changed the entire trajectory of our therapy sessions moving forward. And I just like trusted her in such a new, different way and felt so much more comfortable with her after that, that it was actually like life-changing.
The power of communication.
I get that. And I bet there are many stories like that in this building where, you know, people have come in and they've spent 30 or 45 minutes talking to someone on staff, and it's like, you know, 4 months of therapy.
Yeah.
And so where I'm going with that is we get to the bottom line pretty quick. And when you get to the bottom line of, you know, what's gonna make me want to get up in the morning, let's find that for you.
And I think too, it's like, we don't ask what's wrong with you. We ask, you know, what happened to you.
Yep.
And I think that's really.
Or whatever you want to share.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're not just looking at like, this is your diagnosis.
Yeah, exactly.
We're more
You're not
of like
your diagnosis.
looking at like, what are all the things that brought you in to where you're at?
Yeah.
If you do want to share. If not, I'll sit here with you and I'll hold the space and I'll hold the silence and I'll hold the hope for you until you're comfortable enough.
Yeah. And then hopefully, you know, over your time here, when we send you out, you've got all kinds of tools to use so we don't see you again.
Building that toolbox. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which I love.
Yep. Renee, who you mentioned before, is kind of the
beautifully said, both of you,
matriarch of peer support in Hamilton County, and she believes that there is no recovery without hope. Whether the person has hope for themselves, or like in my case, I had a psychiatrist tell me, "I'm going to carry your hope for you until you can," and I was like, "Okay, I didn't get it, but I sure do now," and I'm thankful for her for doing that. And we have that conversation with people here. You know, I'm going to hold on to your hope for you.
Yeah.
I've had that conversation with people who are now on staff. Now that to me is the bottom line of peer support, is hope.
Absolutely.
You know, because I can see in front of me, I'm talking to a live person who understands what I'm going through. Not the exact same events, but the exact same emotions.
Absolutely.
Find a homie who will hold your hope, because that would be really dope.
Oh my gosh.
Guys, I'm not gonna lie, it would be super dope.
You just like millennial-fied.
But millennial, bro, people, I don't know what I just did that was somehow generationally revealing, but I think
you said the word dope.
Bro, I know people that are in their teen years that say dope, bro.
I'm gonna work 6-7 in here in a minute.
Oh my gosh.
Work 6-7 here.
Not bad. No.
You're gonna have 6 or 7 levels of dope. What did you say?
That's so funny.
What did you say, Bill?
I said I'm gonna work 6-7 here in a minute, and it won't be my birthday.
6 to 7. Okay.
We're showing our obsession with the internet here.
Bro,
we're too internet pilled.
Oh, it's too late for us.
All right, so we defined peer support. We told what we do here. What are we going to talk about next time?
Next time, let's talk about the impact of peer support on the peer supporters.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
So
it does.
The impact of peer support on the peer supporters. Do we want to have
compassion,
someone?
fatigue, vicarious trauma, all that kind of stuff.
Okay, that's a good one. I didn't know about vicarious trauma, actually. That's a new one for me, guys. Cool. We should definitely cover that next time. This has been our introduction to peer support. We are the In Our Issues crew. Are we wrapping up? Are we wrapping up, y'all?
Yeah, absolutely. That's it for us. We got our hard stop.
Yeah, we got our hard stop because it's about time for us to go.
Hey, thanks for being here, and we're glad to be back.
We're glad to be back. Thanks for joining us. We really appreciate being able to talk about peer support and to spread our knowledge and be able to talk about mental health openly. Love it.
Yeah.
I do, and I love getting to talk to you guys. So I'm looking forward to next week.
Yep.
Hell yes, dude. Something to look forward to. Something to wake up for in the morning, guys.
There you go.
Find it and grab it and hold on to it. This is the In Our Issues crew. That includes you. I'm Nathan.
I'm Amanda.
I'm Bill.
And we will see you next week. Peace out. This has been your introduction to the art of being a peer supporter. Tune in next time for part 2, where we do a deeper dive into peer support and get personal experiences from peer supporters themselves, my co-hosts, Amanda and Bill. Don't forget you're awesome. Peace out.